The title is When Good But... And the reason why I chose it... Hey y'all, it's Alex J, and welcome back to my channel. Today is a special day. This time last year, I actually presented my senior thesis at the University of the Arts. And to be honest, like, I'm still on an emotional high. Like, even like just thinking back or even looking back at like the videos and my pictures that I have from last year, it like just all the love, all the support, the artistry that, you know, that we shared in that show and all the other programs too. Like, it was just overwhelming, honestly. Like, I don't know, like it was just a time. Like, it was a time, and you had to be there. You know, you had to be there though. It's just crazy to me because, well, for some of y'all who don't even know what a senior thesis is, it's like our research-based project that we do as seniors, and we had to choreograph a piece based off whatever research we decided to do. I literally have been like thinking about it since my freshman year. Like, I just like coming in, seeing the seniors present their work. I'm like, yo, like, I want to create a legendary piece. I want to have props. I want to have a set. It was just crazy. Like, I knew who I wanted to be in my cast. Like, literally freshman year. But of course, like, over the years, like, that evolved and things changed, and you become more aware, first of all, of what the class is even about. Like, I didn't even know what the class, consisted of. But once it was finally time to like really buckle down and decide what was going to go on, I was debating between two ideas. Like, the first choice, I was going to like research spiritual warfare, and in my mind, it was just like like, we have this life that we live here on earth. We have these battles, we have these relationships, we have, all these things that, help us move through life. But there's this spiritual realm, or there's this spiritual world of like external factors that actually determine our life. And I kind of wanted to like research that and like dig into that. And my second option was to like basically dedicate it to my dad, who we found out a few years ago was diagnosed with dementia. And I kind of like wanted to research the disease and just how he moves through life with the brain disease, and how it affects our family and how it affects him. So in that moment, my dad and his life was like really weighing heavy on me, so I decided to go with that. And literally, the piece that came from it is just like, it's unbelievable. And I'm not even saying it because it's my piece, but like, literally watching it, like, I literally almost cry every time. Like, I feel like that's something that I've actually like handcrafted and put my heart and my soul into, and I literally can be like, yeah, like, that's my baby. Like, that piece it just means so much to me. Yeah, so kind of like diving deep into it. We had 10 minutes, y'all. They gave us 10 minutes to do this piece. And literally everything that I researched, everything that I wanted to depict in the piece, like, I needed more than 10 minutes. But I mean, I had to stay. I mean, I ended up being like 11 minutes and like 50 seconds. But that was as close I was getting to 10 minutes. Like, like, to be honest, like, it's no way that I was fitting that all into 10 minutes. But the piece was basically broken up into 4 sections. I chose 4 different pieces of music to to go with the piece. And the first section, it was basically like, I wanted it to be like a dream. Like, the music is very like animated and fast paced, And I wanted it to be like that because I wanted it to be like my dad was just like placed in this world. Like he was just like, he wakes up and it's like this world is just going on, it's fast paced. Like he doesn't know where he is. And I chose Imani to be the lead for my piece. Those of y'all who don't know Imani Drake, y'all better get into Imani Drake. But no, Imani is really like one of my little sisters. And I just knew that I needed somebody strong. I needed somebody who could make it through the entire piece. I needed somebody who I felt like could connect with me and could connect to the story. And Imani was really that girl for me. And I'm like, yo, like, and then it's crazy because, you know, of course my dad is a male and she's a, you know, identifies as a woman. But like, I didn't even think that it had to be like too literal. I just wanted somebody to, you know, be the soloist and be the lead. So, and I just knew that it had to be Imani. But like I said, going back into that that first section, like you can see Imani as she travels through this world, like this new world, and it's just like she's lost in it. She's trying to understand like what's going on. Like she's not herself. She's not feeling like herself. And so this whole section is about just trying to understand what's going on. And it also like introduces like the disease, and because it stemmed from a stroke. That's what kind of like spearheaded this whole brain disease dementia, that my dad had a stroke. So, and with the stroke, you like you lose your speech, you lose like movement in your body. So I kind of like wanted to, there's a point in the music where we did a whole phrase specifically based off like the side effects of a stroke. And that kind of like ended that first section to like kind of dive into the rest of, you know, I kind of like just laid the foundation for the piece. And the second section is a quartet. And the quartet is basically the movement and the way they coincide with each other basically just symbolizes the symptoms that my dad has from dementia: the loss of speech, memory loss, paranoia, and like the loss of like movement like in his joints. So those were like the top 4 like symptoms that my dad has, and I kind of just wanted that. I just wanted to depict that in the piece. So that's the whole second section is dedicated to that. That section in particular was very like collaborative. I gave them the symptom, and then I just asked them to create movement based on what I gave them, like just that word. So they came up with like a short phrase, and then we morphed it into the choreography that I had already taught them, and we kind of like morphed it and came up with phrase material, and then we set that section. And then it's crazy because the music for that section is very much like dreamy, and it's very much like just like a flowy type of music. And the reason why I chose it is because I was going through something that day with my family, specifically because of my dad. Like it was just a crazy day that day. And I came across the song because one of my teachers was actually choreographing to it. And I was like, wow, like I really like this song. And as I was listening to it, like I left the family, and like literally probably one of the most dramatic times of my life. Like I literally walked out the house. The library was down the street, so I walked down to the library. I'm sitting on the library steps with my earphones and just listening to that song, and then it was like, wow, like I literally want to choreograph to this song. So the fact that I used that in this piece, it just shows that, like, you know, that it's still connected to me, still connected to my family. And you know, another reason why, like I said, I really feel like I poured my heart and my soul into this piece. But the third section basically is like, okay, internalizing this disease. There are 7 stages of dementia, and I wanted to show Imani going through each stage. And basically, so what I did was, and it's kind of literal, but it's kind of literal when hearing me say it, but as you see the piece, it's like, oh, like I really probably wouldn't have really got that. So it starts out with her and Christian, And then literally, like, so she's dancing with Christian, and then the next stage enters in, which is Notori. So now they're both dancing with Imani, and like so on and so forth. Like then Nathan comes in, then Viola comes in, Rhapsody, Aisha. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? Oh, Alex, my girl Alex. Yeah, so basically those 7 people enter individually, and Imani like has like an entanglement. Entanglement with August. But no.
An entanglement with August.
She's basically like entangled in all of these stages, and it just grows rapidly. Like it goes from being 2 people on stage to literally 8 people on stage, and that spread of it just represents how dementia it just grows, and it enlarges until, you know, eventually the person passes away from it. But yeah, that's how I portrayed that in this piece. And then the music that I chose for that one, I had actually was going to use that for a different piece dealing with a different situation in my family, but I didn't really go through with that piece. But I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to use that for this. And it was just intense. It's like a fight. It just really spoke to me in that way. So I really wanted to use that piece of music. And then it's like, so literally once she goes through all those stages, and then to the last minute, like everything is just over. She collapses and it's over. So that was a powerful moment for me in that piece. And then it transfers into like this last section, which I just call like a love letter to my dad. Like that's the simplest way to put it. And like literally it goes from like having these lights, you know, to where you can see everybody, to where it crosses over into like this blue set of lights, and it's like that for the rest of the piece, because it's just literally like that's like the emotional part of it. Like me just telling my dad, like, you know, for all we know, we may never meet again. Like okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go there, but like the words in the song just literally, like, although I think he's talking to his lover, Donny Hathaway is talking to his lover, but I literally was feeling that way to my dad. Like the lyrics really spoke to me in a way that it's like, although we may never meet again, like let's make this moment, you know, special and precious and sweet. Like, you know, and it's like the way that it's choreographed, like just like the different people that dance with Imani is kind of like represents like my different family members and their relationships with my dad, and the emotion and the soul and the love that's just felt in that last section. That's what really brought like the fresh air to the piece. And yeah, it's literally my favorite section. Like it's not very much like crazy choreography. It's like the most like chill and relaxed, and yeah, and it's like, and I arranged the piece like that on purpose, because it's like usually, you know, with a piece, it's like you start out slow in the beginning, and then like gradually, like it really gets like you know, it gets to that heightened, and then it's like, you know, it's over. But I did it like the reverse, like, you know, like there's this chaotic world going on, and then literally, like it literally little by little, like just gradually gets more at peace and more like, you know, just slower. And I think that literally that's how dementia works. Like you, as someone who gets dementia, like it literally, you know, eats away at the brain to the point where, you know, like it literally just gradually just deteriorates to literally there's nothing anymore. And my cast, I just send a big shout out to my cast. Like literally the best cast. Like technique, like emotion. Now let me be real, on the emotional side of it, we kind of like had to tap into it, because I feel like I was dealing with a bunch of like technicians, like, and people who were ready to catch that step. Like they literally like I feel like that's what the main priority was at first. But once we like really like dove into like what this piece really is about and what I'm really, you know, trying to express, like they literally took it in and like they began to dance. Like it literally just became a great work to watch, and I was just so proud of them, so proud of myself, and just so full of love. Oh, I didn't talk about the title. The title is When Goodbye Begins. And the title just came to me because I think I was like researching like books on it, and when I saw I think it said the beginning of goodbye. Like that was the title of the book. But I always would get tongue-tied. I can't even talk now. I would always get tongue-tied and trying to say it when the beginning of goodbye. I don't know. It was just weird for me to say the beginning of goodbye. I can say it now perfectly, but at first it was like no. But so as I was changing it, I'm like, when goodbye begins. And then actually now I think about it, that one is more tongue-tied than the beginning of goodbye, when goodbye begins. Yeah. So when it was like when goodbye begins, it was like, yeah, I think that's the title. Because it's like it's the beginning of goodbye. Like you have this person who you love so much, and you literally watch them become someone else. So it's like, and you know that with the disease, like, you know, to be open with it, like it literally just deteriorates the brain until there's no more. And it's like, wow. Like, so when we got that diagnosis, it's like, wow, like this is when goodbye begins. And yeah. So yeah, that's the piece, and that's my heart. I was so glad and so honored to dedicate this piece to my dad. And oh my gosh, when I saw him walk through those doors to come to the show, because everybody who knows my dad is like, he don't even want to do too much. Like it's almost a struggle to get him to come downstairs sometimes. So the fact that he literally came out the house and came to the show to watch the piece that I, you know, dedicated to him, like literally, that's literally all I wanted. Like, okay, no, I wanted my whole family to come, of course, but like the fact that my dad came, y'all don't even know. Like, I literally could not even get myself together. I'm like, oh my God, like my dad is here. Like, I don't know, like it was just like, I don't know. I can't even describe that feeling. Whew. But yeah, he came and he enjoyed it. And yeah, all I can say was that I was just so thankful. I was thankful for God for the gift of dance and for blessing me with, you know, the choreography, how the lights should be, how the costuming should be, the cast, everything. Like, and then to my teachers, my mentors, everybody who I reached out to about this piece, like my friends, my family, like I just was just so thankful, and I'm still thankful to this day that like I was able to create something so precious to me and so dear to me. So again, thank you guys for tuning in and always supporting me. Your support really means the world to me. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, share everything, and I'll see you guys later.